Hi, and welcome to our YouTube channel. This is How to Unlock Spanish, and my name is Iciar. In today's video, we are going to unlock how to face the 90 words of the writing GCSE Spanish exam. Remember, it is always very convenient for you to go and check the official website of your exam board, where you can find past papers, mark schemes, and so on. We divided this video in 5 parts. You can skip the parts you already know and just go straight forward to the one that you think is going to be more interesting for you. Although I think for the first time you should just listen to the whole video. So the first part is what is the 90 words writing like, marks and so on. Second part is frequently asked questions. So I'm going to tell you the answers of the questions I'm normally asked during my lessons. In part number 3, you will learn what to do to get full marks. Part number 4 is going to be about the frequent mistakes I've seen when I read writings. Why even a good writing can lose a lot of marks if we don't know certain things. In part number 5, we summarize in 7 easy steps what to do when facing the 90 words during the exam. So just go to the description below the video and click on the part you want to listen, or just listen to the whole video straight away. We are GCSE teachers and tutors. You can check a lot of free materials on our website and social media, where you can also contact us to have some lessons, like one-off lessons or continuous lessons during the year to help you unlock your Spanish GCSE. On our website, www.howtounlockspanish.com, you will also find the list of books we recommend and why and when to use them. As I know you are very busy, we will just dive in. Part number 1 of the video. What is the 90 words writing task like? The 90 words task is included in the higher tier paper, question number 1, as well as in the foundation tier paper, question number 4. Both are worth 16 marks, but remember, the foundation writing paper is worth 50 marks and the higher tier paper is worth 60 marks. You are going to have 2 options to choose from, and every option has 4 bullets. So the 90 words is going to be a task where you have to write a letter, write an email, write a post for a blog, or an article for a magazine. The heading of the question will be telling you what to do. And then you will have 4 bullets detailing like which information you must not miss, which questions or issues you will have to be addressing. And that's really, really important. So you have to please read the heading, which is going to give you context, clues as well, and also pay attention to the bullets. Part number 2 of the video, frequently asked questions. So before we continue, I'm going to answer some frequently asked questions. And the first one is, do I need to write 90 words? Can I write less? Well, you may write less and still get most of the marks. Maybe you wrote enough to answer the 4 bullets, to give 2 opinions, but if your text is too short, the examiner may not have the necessary variety of language and structures to award you with the total marks of quality of language. The second question is, may I write more than 90 words? Well, you can write more than 90 words and it's going to be marked. Everything you write will be marked if it's relevant. But also be aware, the more you write, more mistakes you can make. The third question, do I need to write the same quantity of words for every bullet? Well, you don't. You have to answer all the bullets, but you may write more about one than the others. Has all the information got to be relevant to the bullets? Well, it depends. As we are going to see in a second, it has to be relevant to give you content marks in general. It doesn't have to be relevant to be considered for the opinions or to be considered for the quality of language. Part number 3 of the video, what to do to get top marks. What we need to do is to understand how the examiner can award those full marks. So for the 90 words question, the examiner is going to judge the content and the quality of language. The content is worth 10 marks and the quality of language is worth 6 marks. It is very important to follow the following rule: 4 bullets, 3 tenses, 2 opinions. So remember this mantra: 4 bullets, 3 tenses, 2 opinions. So for the content, the examiner will only be able to mark the relevant information. first thing, they are going to check if you are answering the 4 bullets with relevant information. If you are missing 1 bullet, if you are only answering 3 bullets instead of 10 marks, the top marks they can award for content is going to be 6. So you will be missing automatically like 4 marks. If you are only answering 2 bullets, the top marks to be awarded in content will be 4. So you will be missing 6 marks out of the 10 of content. So it is very important to really make sure you are answering relevant information for the 4 bullets. For the content marks, they are also going to check if you are expressing at least 2 opinions. Those opinions don't have to be justified like in the 150 words. We are in the 90 words, so it's less challenging. You only have to express 2 opinions. The opinions may be like me gusta jugar, or this house is too big, esta casa es demasiado grande. But remember, if you don't include at least 2 opinions, you will be missing a lot of marks. Like if you only include 1, so the top marks you will be able to get for content will be 6. If you don't include any opinions, you are going to have to lose about 8 marks because you will only be able to get 2 marks for content. So in order to get more than 6 marks for content and don't lose 4, please don't forget to include 4 bullets and 2 opinions. But the opinions don't need to be justified. Of course, if you justify the opinions, you will be including some complexity of language, which will show some quality of language and will get you marks for quality of language that we will see in a sec. Another tip about the opinions is that they don't need to be relevant, so they are really going to consider the opinions even if the opinions are about not relevant information to the bullets. So once we have the 4 bullets and the 2 opinions, we just have to be careful to convey a lot of relevant information to get top marks. Because if we just convey quite a lot of information, we will get to the 8 marks, not to the 9 or 10 marks. Then they also take into account the clarity. So the communication must be clear. If the communication is clear, but perhaps with occasional lapses, instead of 9 or 10 marks for content, we will be getting 7 or 8. But remember, this is the 90 words. So for the content, answer the 4 bullets with relevant information and give 2 opinions. Convey a lot of information about the bullets and make your communication clear. Being clear means no occasional lapses and no breakdown in the communication. Doesn't mean it should be perfect. Regarding the quality of language, first thing to know is that all the text is going to be marked, even if it's not relevant. If you got 0 in content, you will get 0 marks in quality of language straight away. If the text is too short, for sure it's not going to be able to show a variety of vocabulary and structures. So try to make the text long enough, like 90 or 100 words, as we said before. In order to get the top marks in quality of language, you have to control the variety of vocabulary, the complexity of your structures and sentences, the time frames, not too many errors, and the register. So you have to use the 3 time frames, past, present, and future, to get 6 marks. If you only include 2, you will get only 4 marks. If you used 3 frames, and time frames means like, okay, talking about what you are going to do in the future, but it doesn't need to be a future tense. Maybe you are saying, quiero ir a la universidad. I want to go to university. We are not including iré or voy a ir. We are not saying I will go or I'm going to go. I'm not using the future tense, but I'm expressing future. Once we've used the 3 time frames, we will keep the 6 marks if we include a variety of appropriate vocabulary. We attempt complex structures and sentences. This means don't use many short sentences. We only did some minor errors, or mainly minor. And the register, if everything else is okay, the register is not going to bring it down. So for the quality of language, if we don't achieve that, maybe we only lose like 1 or 2 marks, because instead of a variety of appropriate vocabulary, we just include some variety, because instead of attempted complex structures, we just use some attempted, because maybe we used only 2 time frames, or because we made major errors or very frequent minor errors. So really, we must pay more attention to the content and include 3 time frames in order to don't miss the quality of language marks, the obvious ones. And then the important thing is to learn some structures in Spanish that we can use and transfer from topic to topic, and that you feel safe using them because you know how to grammatically adapt them to the topic. And for these grammar structures and the variety of vocabulary and some of the tricks to use in writing, we are going to record more videos. So please subscribe to the channel so you don't miss them. These structures will help you with the speaking as well as with the 150 words and the 90 words. You can also check the free content we include in our website www.howtounlockspanish.com, where we have a GCSE section. And you can also check the books we recommend for you to learn and why and when to use them. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about some frequent mistakes and how to avoid them. It's very useful to practice with past papers, but it's also very useful to know what mistakes people may normally do. Okay, the first mistake. So maybe you see a very coherent and nice writing, and someone is answering every bullet with relevant information, and then you just see at the end of the writing something like it doesn't really make sense with it. It's not very coherent, but you realize when you're marking the task that the person just realized, oh, I missed the future, I need to add something in the future tense, or oh, I missed like this bullet, so I need to add it. So well done, you've revised and you've checked and solved it, and you made it up, but at the same time, it's like not helping with the clarity, not helping with the coherence of the text. So that's why it's so important to really plan what you are going to write and plan what you are going to do to include what we said is really needed, the 4 bullets, the 3 tenses, and the 2 opinions. And then which structures I'm going to use because I have been training and using these structures and I'm very safe using them, and in which bullet and why I'm going to use them. A second mistake could be not to answer in the proper tense the bullet we are answering. Maybe you don't control the tenses, the grammar, the conjugation, so I think it's very convenient if together with the tense you also include a time expression. For example, instead of saying fui al cine, you include ayer. You say, ayer fui al cine. So instead of I went to the cinema, you also include yesterday to say, yesterday I went to the cinema. This will help with your content marks. Even if the conjugation is not completely right, if it's clear that you are answering the question, you may not lose the marks about answering the bullet. You will lose the marks about quality of language, about addressing time frames. So when you answer the bullets, please make sure it is clear when something is happening by including a time expression like ayer, hoy, mañana, el mes pasado, el próximo mes, hace un año, el martes pasado. And also try to use the same time frame like 2 or 3 times. So you give enough material to the examiner to consider if you are answering the bullet, and you also know how to use the tenses. The third mistake, again, is not to answer the bullet. So I know it's very obvious saying, okay, you must answer the question. Sometimes that's not that easy. So we must keep reading the question in any subject, in any exam, not only in Spanish. You must keep reading the question and making sure, am I answering the question? I've seen writings that someone is, for example, answering and talking about advantages and disadvantages of the technology in their life, and the question is asking advantages and disadvantages of technology for society. So sometimes it might be possible, but sometimes it might not be really answering the question. So make sure you just don't quickly think, oh, I know what this is asking. The fourth mistake could be, for example, answering a bullet in the wrong tense. So if the bullet is asking, what do you normally do in your free time? First, please answer the bullet. Say, I normally do this and that. And then if you need to talk in the past or the future, or you need to include complex structures, just do it afterwards. But first answer the bullet, and then you add whatever you need to make it a top mark writing. So finally, what should I do with the 90 words? How should I phrase it? Step number 1. Okay, first look at the 2 options you're given. And what I would ask myself is, okay, first, do I know how to answer every bullet? Even if you like one topic more than the other, you have to choose not really the one you like or the one you can talk more about. I think you need to choose the one that you really understand what every bullet is asking you to write about. If not, you are going to miss 4 marks automatically if you don't know what one of the bullets means. Step number 2. Once you've chosen the option, the first thing you must do is to write on the paper 4B, 3T, 2 O's. That means 4 bullets, 3 tenses, 2 opinions. Step number 3. I would check the 4 bullets and I would write next to the bullet if the bullet is asking something in the past, in the present, or in the future. Then I would think, okay, where shall I write the 2 opinions? And remember, 2 is the minimum. Just try to do a little more, just in case one goes wrong. Step number 4. Which structures, which blocks I know how to do and where am I going to include them? Remember, you can see another video in the future about this. So subscribe and make sure you don't miss it. You will be able to really master these 90 words, and it will help you to know how to do the 150 words, because the 90 words is a nice foundation to learn how to do the 150 words. Step number 5. Now, right next to the bullets, vocabulary you may think can be impressive and can really enhance your writing. The vocabulary to show off a little, like variety of language and so on. Step number 6. Now just do the writing. Now you have planned every bullet and you know what to include in every bullet, and you are going to write it down very straightforward. Remember to include now nice connectives to link it all together and to make it coherent. So one strategy may be like, okay, I'm going to write 100 words. So let's divide the words per bullet. So let's write like 25 words per bullet. In order to do that, it would be nice for you to know how many words are one of your lines when you write. So, for example, for me, I know I have to write like about 2.5 lines. As we said before, you don't need to do it in equal proportion for every bullet, but it's a nice standard you may know what to do about. You may write more, but maybe you are going to run out of time for the rest of the exam. So, for example, if you are doing the higher exam, if you are doing the higher tier paper, you have 60 marks, and this is only like 16 marks, and you have 60 minutes. So maybe you should not dedicate more than 15 minutes in this task. Step number 7, and is the last one, but very, very important. Yes, revise and reread, because you will find some mistakes, some agreement mistakes, like masculine and feminine, or for the tenses. You have to be very careful. The verb is in the right tense and the right person. And then, again, after you read your piece, read again the bullets and make sure you've answered the bullet. So don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss new videos about how to do your writing or any other issues about the GCSE exam or expressions or structures we will keep uploading. Why don't you leave a comment below to tell us what kind of video or what topic you would like us to develop. But I encourage you to leave a comment below telling us what you would like us to explain to you in the following video. And please don't hesitate to contact us in our email. You can find it in our website, www.howtounlockspanish.com, for any further questions, for personalized lessons, or just for doing a one-off, one-to-one lesson to help you out with any of the issues you have with the GCSE Spanish, to give you more confidence and to help you stand out.